fight alongside Imam Hussein. There were some things that were more important to them. Allah tests us like this. He tests us in this way. That there are things that they were willing to give up to be able to be on the other side. You know, when Muslim ibn Aqil, Imam Hussein's trustee, his representative, his cousin, when he went to Kufa, one of the things that happened was, at that time, Muslim ibn Aqil had thousands of people who were ready to support him. At first, from the over 100 letters of people who had sent letters inviting Imam Hussein, initially all these people, hundreds of them, surrounded Muslim ibn Aqil. We are supporters of Imam Hussein. It didn't take very long, a short speech, where the tyrant Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad goes on the minbar and starts to threaten the people. So you see, Allah tests our iman in this way. He told them, if you're on the side of Muslim ibn Aqil, you're with the rebels. You're with the people who are against Islam. Some people became doubtful. That's all it took. And they deserted him. He told them again, he said, if you stand on the side of Muslim ibn Aqil, you're going to lose. You're not going to get any wealth, no state allotment. Some people, they were afraid of that, and they began to walk away and leave. And the threats that he made were all things which were just enough to show how low the faith and iman of these people were. And a lot of times people talk about, oh, we're not like the people of Kufa, we're not Ahl Kufa, we're not like them. Have we been tested like that yet? Are we sure that we won't do those same things and make those same decisions? It's very important to understand that Allah tests us in these ways with various things, family, wealth, all kinds of different things, with status, with maqam. He tests us to see, are we willing to put these aside, even if that means that I can become one of the companions of Abu Abdullah. If it means that I have to trade all of these things that I work so hard for in this life for the pleasure of Allah and in the next life, am I willing to do that? So before we rush to say, "Ma Ahl Kufa nistim," and we're not like those people from Kufa, we should be very mindful that those people from Kufa were the people who were inviting him, just like we are inviting our Imam. And those people from Kufa were the people who surrounded his representative and said, "We're with you." Thousands. In one place it says 5,000 people were with him at one time, with Muslim ibn Aqil. But that representative of his, they deserted him. He finds himself walking through the streets of Kufa alone, with not a single supporter. To go from thousands to have nothing and no one who's really, truly ready to be your supporter, this says a lot about the faith and iman of these people. Let's not assume that our iman is that strong. Let's be ready and prepared that when our test comes, the test of our iman comes, that we're not willing to trade anything for the love of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Please recite salam.
Allah salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Initially, I wanted to talk about a very important topic, and since the time is short, inshallah, we'll continue it tomorrow. But one of the principles and the reasons why you see that Imam Hussein alayhi salam, despite knowing the events that would happen, despite being outnumbered, one of the reasons why you see that he bravely and boldly continues this journey is that he didn't have any fear. Why didn't he have any fear? It's because he had complete trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this concept of tawakkul, if we could only grasp and understand what that truly means and how to apply it, then we would have complete success in everything that we do in our life. Everything that we want to do as an individual as families, as communities, we will be completely successful. Why? Because our fear will only be of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one else. And our trust will only be towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and no one else. Here's just like one salawat. Several years ago, I was giving a lecture in London, and I was asking the people there, because from the time that I had been there, it seemed like everywhere was a pretty fairly decent neighborhood. I didn't see any really bad neighborhoods like where I'm from. I'm from Philadelphia, and we have really bad neighborhoods and ghettos and projects and things like that. They didn't see anything like that. So I was wondering, I'd ask the people there, do they have bad neighborhoods around here? They said, yes, there's this place named Brixton, Hackney. They mentioned some places which they said were bad neighborhoods. So the point that I wanted to make, I said, if it's at nighttime and you're walking through this neighborhood, are you going to feel okay? Will you feel safe? Probably if you're walking by yourself, you may feel afraid. But if you're walking maybe with your best friend or someone who you really trust, you feel a little bit more confident. You feel that I'm okay because this person is supporting me. He has my back. If something happens, that he's going to help me. Now what if you had more people? What if you had a group of people with you, your closest friends? The same thing, you would feel even more confident. You would be feeling less worried. And if you had an army of people walking with you, you would feel nothing at all. You wouldn't even be worried at all. Now take that same idea and thought and think that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was present, supporting you, then what could possibly happen to you? If your trust and faith was in Him, then who could harm you? Who could cause the slightest bit of harm to you? It mentions in the Quran that the person who Allah supports, who can harm that person? But if Allah decides He's not going to support you, then what's going to happen? Anything, any kind of harm can come to you. So when Imam Hussein goes bravely to Karbala, and with his family, and with no thought or fear at all, it is because he has showing us the epitome of what tawakkul is. And tawakkul is something that we want to implement in our own lives, that we only trust in Allah, despite difficulties which we will have faced, which we have faced. And one of the most difficult things that was faced was for Imam Hussein to take his family with him, knowing that after he would become shaheed, that they would remain there. It mentions that in Sham, Ruqayya, the daughter of Imam Hussein, Fatima Sukhra, that in the area, these terrible living conditions that they were in, when they were there with Hazrat Zainab, Salamullah alayha, she saw all the kids running. And when she saw the kids running and going home and leaving, she said, "Where are the kids going, Auntie?" She said, "Amma, where are all the kids leaving to?" And Hazrat Zainab told her that they're going home now. And Hazrat Ruqayya, she looked at Bibi Zainab and she said, "Don't we have a home?" And she said to her, "Yes, we have a home, but our home is in Medina." And then she remembered about her father, Imam Hussein, and she asked, she said, "Where's my father, Auntie? Where did he go?" And what could Bibi Zainab say? She's looking at this face that's so innocent. And she said to Hazrat Ruqayya that your father's on a journey. He's on a safar. She looked down and she went to the corner and she kind of laid her head down. She was very sad. And she saw Imam Hussein in her dream. He came to her and said some things. He consoled her. And she woke up from her sleep and she began to ask, "Where is my father? Where is my Abi? Aina Abi? Where is my father?" And she began to cry, and all the people around her started to cry as well. And then this news reached Yazid, and Yazid said, well, send her the head of her father. And they brought the severed head of Abu Abdullah to Hazrat Ruqayyah, and she just held the head. She pulled it close. She said, who severed your head from your body, Baba? Who did this to you, Baba? Who put this for your blood on your face, Baba? Who did this to you? Why did you leave me to become an orphan, Baba? Who caused this? And she was so sad and weeping and weeping. Everyone began to weep around her. It says that she, after some time, they thought that she fell asleep, and they came to realize that she had left this world and she had gone to join her father, Abu Abdullah al-Husayn. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Sallallahu alayka ya Mazlum bil-Karbala. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولجعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين يا حسين